Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Sanjay. I'm here with my team members Aditya Anish, Tebin Thomas, and Aditya Krishna. We are discussing a crucial topics. What constitutes a green supply chain, and is it a viable business model, or do any exist? To begin, let's define what we mean by a green supply chain or GSC. According to Singh in 2024, a green supply chain which involves economic thing, yeah, which involves like environmental thinking into every stage of traditional supply chain. This means considering environmental impact in everything from source, raw materials, production, packaging, distribution, and even product returns. So what is driving this shift actually? There are three major factors for that, which includes the growing threat of climate change, increasingly strict government regulations, rising expectations around ESG, which is environmental, social, and governance standards. As a result, many companies are being forced to move beyond profit focused models and adopt sustainable practices in their operations, particularly in logistics, which is one of the most emission intensive area in a business. A green supply chain aims to reduce carbon emission, waste, and pollution while also improving efficiency, resilience, and brand value. In fact, GSCs are now being recognized as not just a way to meet environmental goals, but as a strategic business tool that can improve overall performance and long term competitiveness. Next, we can move to slide 2, which mainly tells about context and objectives. The main context and objectives among this is how the logistic industry is facing multiple challenges today, from resource shortages and fuel cost to the increasing frequency of climate related disruptions. Global supply chains are under pressure like never before. At the same time, governments and customers are demanding more accountability, and global supply chains are under pressure. And they're demanding transparency in how goods are sourced, produced, and moved. This presentation is examine whether the green supply chain model can offer a real practical solution to these challenges. We are asking, can sustainability and profitability go hand in hand in logistics? And there are so many objectives for that. What? It is to assess the viability of green supply chains as a long term business model and to explore how GSC can help business develop more resilient and future proof logistics, and to offer practical insights for decision makers in global manufacturing and retail sectors where logistics plays a critical role in it. As mentioned by Rupa and Safe, adopting sustainable practices doesn't just reduce environmental impact, it can also lead to strong operations, lower cost, and better risk management. So, this presentation is not just theoretical, it is designed to give real value to managers and logistics professionals who want to understand how sustainability can be aligned with business goals. So, these are the main topics and like the words which is described in slide 2. So we can move on to the next slide, which is an overview of green supply chain in logistics and how it is. A GSC applies sustainability principles across all stages of a supply chain, right from sourcing to delivery and even reverse logistics. There are three main points in this, which is the green procurement, green manufacturing, and eco-friendly packaging, and sustainable transportation and reverse logistics. Green procurement choosing suppliers who follow environmental standards. Manufacturing includes clean energy, minimizing waste. Eco-friendly packaging using recyclable or biodegradable materials. Sustainable transportation, which is like fuel efficient vehicles and all. So another key component is carbon footprint. These practices help companies not only lower their environmental impact but also improve efficiency and customer satisfaction. For instance, they have Unilever has implemented green sourcing and energy efficient logistics in their global operations. Patagonia, known for its commitment to the environment, has a built circular supply chain that includes repair. This example shows that GSEs are not just theoretical concepts, but they can be actively implemented. In summary, the green supply chain is about building a supply chain that is ethical, circular, and resilient, one that balances profit and responsibility. So this is all about my topic. So I'm handing over my topic to Aditya. So he will take over from here. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aditya Krishna. Today we are here to discuss about the benefits of green supply chain for modern business. In today's rapidly changing world, businesses are under increasing pressure to operate in ways that are not only profitable but are also environmental and socially responsible. One effective way to achieve this balance is by adopting green supply chain practices, which is also known as GSC practices. GSC practices refers to the integration of sustainable environmental process into the traditional supply chain, including product design, material sourcing, manufacturing, and distribution. This model provides a range of benefits that are essential for long-term success in today's competitive business world. From an environmental perspective, GSC plays a critical role of reducing carbon emissions and minimizing waste. By implementing cleaner production techniques and more efficient logistic footprint, sustainable resources use such as using renewable materials, recycling waste, or not only conserves natural resources but also help us to meet increasingly strict environmental regulation. As Singh 2024 highlights, these practices are crucial in lowering emissions and contribution to global effort against climatic conditions. In conclusion, the green supply chain is much more than a set of eco-friendly practices. It is comprehensive business strategy that benefits the environment, boost economic performance, and strengthen social responsibility. By adopting GSC, business will not only remain competitive but also make meaningful contributions to the society and the planet. As sustainability continues to shape the future of commerce, companies that invest in green practice today are setting themselves up for long-term success in the business. And now I'm going to the second next topic, which is the social responsibility of GSE in modern business. Corporate social responsibility, which is also known as CSR theory, which highlights the business have responsibility beyond just making profit. Companies today are expected to consider the social and environmental impact of their operation. While Milton Friedman's traditional view emphasized profit as social responsibility of a business, the modern business environment reflects a shift. Sustainability is now seen as an integral part of profitability. This shift creates a need for business models that can bridge the gap between the profit and responsibility. And this is where the green supply chain becomes valuable. The GSC incorporates environmentally and socially responsible practice across the entire supply chain process from sourcing materials to the final product of delivery. By doing so, it helps business align with CSR goals while still driving economic performances. Implementing GSC offers multiple advantages. It builds resilience, reduces operational risk, and ensures compliance with sustainability standards. In addition, it enhances brand reputation and stakeholder trust between the uh, company, and is slowly increase the critical for long-term success in the market. In short, GSC offers a strategic path for business to integrate CSR into their core operations, providing the sustainability and profit can go hand in hand in today's competitive world. Next, I'm going to the next topic, the challenges and vulnerabilities of green supply chain. Here we are going to say about the challenges in GSC. The GSC faces many challenges and vulnerabilities, which offer brings cost and additional cost of operational complexities. Shifting to sustainable transportation method, eco-friendly packaging and energy efficient process can increase the initial investment and disrupt traditional workflows. A major challenge for business is finding a balance between financial performance and environmental commitments and social governance. Many companies struggle to maintain profitability while investing in sustainable practices, especially when short-term returns are uncertain. The financial strain can may slow down or even halt the business process. Another limitation is the availability of suppliers to meet environmental standards. Now I'm going to the last topic. The topic is the profitable of sustainable business model in green supply chain. It supports the implementation of corporate social responsibility, and environmental, social, and governance practices, both of which are increasingly important to consumers and investors. By aligning sustainability and with profitability, GSE enhances the company's market position and appeal. Now, I'm handovering the next topic to Mr. Tebin.
Hi everyone. Today I will be speaking about the green supply chain model, commonly referred to as GSE, and how it's being used to address some of the major challenges in logistics. A prime example of this is IK, a global leader in furniture retail. IK has embraced the GSE business model to make its supply chain more efficient and sustainable. Through actions such as investing in local production unit, using renewable energy sources and shifting to rail transportation, IK has managed to reduce its environmental footprints while also enhancing the long-term resilience of its supply chain. This case illustrates the potential of GSE as a sustainable and practical model for business worldwide. Moving to next slide, the data sources. The information in this case study is based on secondary data sources. These include reliable online materials such as academic journal, case studies, business articles, and official publication from reputable sources. The aim has to be explore how GSC models are being implemented in railway logistics and how effective they are in solving modern logistic issues. By reviewing these sources, I was able to connect practical examples like IK with theoretical models of sustainability and supply chain management. This helped in the building a comprehensive understanding of GSC role in modern business. Moving to next slide, global logistics challenge related to green practices. Let's now take a look at the key challenges in today's global logistics system. The global supply chain has been under significant strain due to various reasons. First, the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted how fragile global logistics system can be when borders closed and movement is restricted. In addition to pandemic, international conflicts and rising tension between economies have disrupted trade routes and increased transportation costs. One major driver of this increase is the rising price of fossil fuel, which remain a large part of traditional logistics operation. On top of that, there are labor shortage in many regions, especially in transportation and warehousing, which further strain the system. Altogether, these challenges reduce the efficiency of logistics operations, increase delivery delays, and raise overall cost. Moving to next slide, GSE as a solution for logistics challenge feasibility. This is where green supply chain approaches can come in as a smart and sustainable solution. Firstly, GSE promotes local sourcing. By sourcing goods and materials closer to production or sales point, companies can reduce transportation distance, which directly cuts down on delivery delays and transportation cost. Secondly, the use of renewable energies such as solar, wind, and bioenergy reduces reliance on fossil fuels. IK, for example, powers many of its production and retail sites with renewable sources, significantly lowering its carbon footprint. Thirdly, GSE encourages waste reduction through more efficient resources use and recycling process. This is this not only helps the environment but also saves money on raw materials and disposal cost. In summary, GSE makes logistics more resilient by improving adaptability, reducing risk, and supporting long-term sustainability. Now let's look IK as a model for GSE success. IK has integrated green practice into almost every level of its supply chain, from using flat pack design to minimize shipping volume to sourcing wood and cotton from sustainable sources and partnering with suppliers who meet environmental standards. Every decision is aligned with the GSC philosophy. They are even committing to become climate positive by 2030, meaning they aim to reduce more greenhouse gas than their value chain emits. Hmm. This level of commitment show how a strong GSC approach not only benefit the planet but also strengthen brand reputation and build customer trust. So in conclusion, the green supply chain is not just an idealistic or theoretical model. It is a practical, future ready solution for business facing global logistics challenge. IK can prove that with the right investment and strategy, companies can achieve both sustainable and efficiency. As we move forward, adopting GSC principle will become increasingly necessary for companies that want to remain competitive, managing risk, and meet both environmental and customer expectations. Next, I am handovering to Mr. Adit.
Thank you, Tevin. Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to talk about GSC implementation model for in logistics. So in this slide, mainly we're going to discuss about the implementation of a green supply chain as a business model in logistics management varies depending on a company's specific needs. So, a centralized GSC model provides greater control on coordination across logistics and supply chain activities, making it ideal for companies to prioritize uniformity and efficiency. In contrast, a decentralized model offers more flexibility and adaptability, allowing local units to respond quickly to regional demands, environmental sustainability. So the GSC promotes green transformation through environmentally friendly manufacturing, procurement, and supply chain practices, as well as the integration of green technologies such as energy efficient system and eco-friendly transportation. So this practice enhance business forecasting, optimize waste management, and increase operational transparency, aligning economic performance with environmental responsibility. So moving on to the next slide, which is risk and barriers to adapting GSC in logistics activities. So in this slide, we are going to discuss how we adapt to green supply chain practices comes with several challenges. One of the main obstacles is the difficulty of integrating green strategies into existing business systems, often requiring significant upfront investment in new technologies and infrastructure. So this shift can also lead to resistance from a staff and suppliers, especially when there is a lack of funding awareness or motivation to embrace the change. Additionally, the business operating in multiple regions face varying legal and regulatory requirement, which can complicate implications and hinder scalability. So these challenges highlight for careful planning, clear communication, and a long-term commitment to successfully transition to a greener supply chain. So moving on to the next slide, which is the recommendation for this topic. So to successfully implement green supply chain practices, business need to adapt a strategy approach that considers short-term, mid-term, long-term implications. So, in short to mid-term, strategies such as local sourcing, investing in AI technologies, and providing staff training can drive early progress and efficiency. These steps help reduce environmental impact while building the foundation for larger changes, and for long-term development, business can focus on more advanced solutions like blockchain for supply chain transparency, forming strategic partnerships, and adapting support recycling and waste reduction. Together, these measures support a smooth and effective transition toward a fully sustainable logics model. So next topic, which is the conclusion of this topic, The green supply chain are not generally an ethical commitment but a strategic necessity for the modern logistics. While the transition may involve upfront costs, it offers business flexibility, adaptability, regulatory shifts, and changing customer interaction. Over time, sees the approaches not only reduce environmental efficiency and a brand reputation. By balancing this sustainability with resilience, firms and can future-proof their operations, turning logistical challenges into opportunities for long-term growth and competitive advantages. By this, we end our topic. Thank you.